They have not been able to locate him.
4 persons, 3 of whom were related, died in a motor vehicle collision along the Bustamante Highway in Clarendon this morning. As we hear from Fabia Phillips Lawrence, other motorists and passers-by rushed to assist the injured until professional help arrived, but all efforts were in vain.
It's 10:25 Thursday morning. An accident has occurred along the Bustamante Highway in Clarendon. Motorists quickly stop to assist, so do those in close proximity. They carry and use whatever they can to open what has now become a mangled wreck. When that fails, they resort to other means. A baby is removed from the car. There are speculations he or she has died. The search for other survivors becomes even more frantic. Traffic backs up for several meters, hindering the police and firefighters on the way. CVM was told a silver Honda motor car traveling towards Mandeville overtook an SUV which was making a right turn. The Honda then collided into a truck which was coming in the opposite direction. The car ended on the opposite side of the road with the truck on top of it. It's suspected that speeding may have caused the accident. The precarious position of both vehicles makes the passing seconds even more precious. A crane arrives to remove the truck perched on top of the car. Firefighters soon arrive with the jaws of life equipment. Someone remembers the baby and queries are made. In the vehicle were the female driver, 31-year-old Andreen Hamilton, a man, 34-year-old Morris Miles, his common-law partner, 21-year-old Amanda Cross, along with their infant child. They all died. Fabia Phillips Lawrence, CVM News.
Meanwhile, the National Road Safety Council is taking its road safety message to organizations within the private sector. Today, the council and the PSOJ signed a road safety charter to promote sound road using practices among employees.
The charter is one of several initiatives by the National Road Safety Council to reduce road crashes in 2011. And while the number of crashes surpassed the 300 mark in 2010, convener for the Road Council, Dr. Lucian Jones, says there was a significant decline in injuries and death due to heightened police presence and a more informed public. He acknowledged, however, that more needs to be done.
The time is therefore ripe for this national charter, the National Road Safety Council, and the private sector organization of Jamaica Road Safety Charter to pilot and act as a catalyst in helping employers and employees to step up their road safety game.
Prime Minister Bruce Golding says he is hoping that the partnership will extend to taxi and bus operators.
And you know, road accidents perhaps represent the most preventable cause of death. We don't have to have a single accident. If every road user obeyed the rules and use those roads with care and with consideration for others, and to use those roads in a defensive way, making allowance for when the brakes cut and somebody comes at you from an angle at which they shouldn't come. If everybody really practiced road safety as a discipline, we perhaps wouldn't have any accident at all.
Under the charter, private sector companies will be required to implement programs promoting sound road user practices.
Individual employers will identify a team member who will coordinate and ensure that employees are informed of this charter and their expected involvement and compliance with the guidelines and the spirit of the charter. The employer will also be encouraged to commit to provide resources for the implementation of initiatives developed by their organization under this charter. Any expenditure involved will and should be seen as an investment rather than as an expense.
Classes resumed at Balaclava High at noon today following the intervention of the Jamaica Teachers Association, the JTA. Despite this, though, teachers at the institution remain angry. Kalila Enriquez has our update.
We should have their class instead of here, so.
That student soon had his wish. After 2.5 days outside the classroom, teachers returned to the blackboard Thursday afternoon. This after the Jamaica Teachers Association visited the school in the morning to soothe tensions.
At the end of this, we hope for a favorable outcome, given that the Ministry of Education has committed to a review of the process that led to the appointment of the principal, and we are certainly going to be holding Minister Holness to that promise and commitment.
Ms. Malloy says the JTA will write to Education Minister Andrew Holness shortly to outline the terms of reference, but the teachers remain upset, especially after this comment by the Education Minister Tuesday.
So we will be writing to the Board of Balaclava, giving them general instructions for them to take appropriate action against those teachers who were involved in the demonstration, those teachers who withheld the keys to the government's property and prevented school from taking place in the normal course.
Northeast St. Elizabeth MP Kern Spencer says the tone of the minister's statement makes him uneasy.
There were suggestions that there was some sinister political motive behind what happened there. There was no political interference in the situation. What has happened, it was a genuine concern by the teachers, by the community members, and mistakes were made.
While also taking issue with the statement, the teachers' union says it respects the right of every Jamaican, including teachers, to peacefully protest. But while several individuals have viewed as unprofessional not only the action of the teachers, but the inclusion of students in the demonstrations, the JTA does not necessarily agree.
Some of the details of what might have taken place I'm not aware of. As soon as I have apprised myself of them, if there are actions on the part of the teachers that I believe was not at the level of professionalism that we would expect, then I will certainly, without any reservations, address those. In the meantime, I respect the right of the teachers to protest.
Kalila Enriquez, CVM News.
A major investigation is currently underway after 3 security guards were reportedly held up and robbed of more than $50 million. The incident occurred this morning on East Road off Hagley Park Road in St. Andrew. The Hunts Bay police, who are conducting the probe, say the guards were transporting the money to be distributed to various banks in the corporate area. While traveling along East Road in a Suzuki Liana, they reportedly stopped to allow other vehicles to cross. While waiting, a blue Honda motor car reportedly slammed into the vehicle. While the guards were assessing the damage to their vehicle, 3 men armed with guns alighted from a Honda motor car, and robbed them of the cash, a .38 Smith & Wesson revolver, and 12 rounds of ammunition. The police report did not indicate how the robbers or the guards left the scene. However, it said the car in which the security guards were traveling was later recovered in Rima.
And the police in St. Elizabeth have 4 men in their custody linked in one way or another to several items which were illegally removed from a house in the parish. It's a breakthrough about which investigators are pleased, but are warning others against similar activities. These items, including pieces of clothing, were reported stolen during a series of break-ins in the Santa Cruz area of St. Elizabeth between October 2010 and January 28. Following upon information received, Constable Karen Austin says a raid was carried out in the Lancaster community in the parish in search of suspects.
One was found and questioned, and information that he gave us led to houses where the following items were found: 2 generator 3000 watt, 2 television 142-inch LG flat screen, 127-inch high here flat screen also, as well as a weed whacker.
In addition to recovering most of the loot, the police team learned that 2 alleged thieves who are now in police custody made a quick sale for a small profit, well below the value of the items. $40,000 for the $85,000 generator, $15,000 for the smaller flat-screen TV, and 40 grand for the 42-inch, valued at roughly $120,000. The crooks even threw in some of the items as brought up for good customer relations. The weed whacker, for example, was given as a gift to a relative of one of the purchasers, while a laptop, 2 necklaces, 3 bracelets, and a ring in sterling and gold made a nice birthday package for a girlfriend. For their support, the 2 clients were also arrested, and the police are issuing a warning about their determination to reduce theft.
We are also warning persons who wish to purchase items for lower prices than required. If you are caught with these items, you will be arrested too. So make sure when you make your purchases, you do it from reputable places where you can produce a receipt and not find yourself in trouble.
Meanwhile, the driver who is alleged to have transported the goods, having learned they were stolen, turned up at the station to give evidence. A smart move, according to the police, who say several pieces of jewelry and another laptop are still missing.
And a quick caution to purchasers of sweet pepper. The Anota Bay Police in St. Mary say 300 pounds of the crop were stolen overnight from a farm in Agualta Vale. The sweet peppers were said to have been sprayed with a chemical called caprid, which is poisonous, and hence the pepper is unsafe for consumption for several days.
Meanwhile, the police are offering a reward totaling $750,000, which is $250,000 each, for information leading to the arrest and charge of 3 members of the Spanish Town-based Klansman gang. The reward is being offered for Nevada Hodges, otherwise called DJ, Roel Jennings, or JJ, and Almal Roman, also called Satan. These clans members are considered armed and dangerous. They're known to frequent Hopeful Village, Lakespen, Marchpen Road, De La Vega City, and Quarry Hill in Spanish Downs in Catherine. Persons with information that can lead to the arrest and charge of these men should call Operation Kingfish at 811, Police Control at 119, or Crime Stop at 311.
A police constable attached to the Area 1 Narcotics Division and formerly of the Anti-Corruption Branch has found himself in trouble with the law. The Wakefield police have charged the cop whose identity has been withheld with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition during an incident in Bunkers Hill, Wakefield, Trelawney. Reports are about 3 a.m. residents heard explosions coming from a bar in the area and summoned the police. Lawmen who responded searched the constable who was in the bar and found the weapon along with 12 rounds of ammunition in his waistband. After investigations, a case file will be prepared and submitted to the DPP for a ruling.
Security concerns have been raised by taxi operators plying certain routes in Clarendon. The unease comes on the heels of the killing of a colleague, 27-year-old Philip Thompson from George's Pen. The cabbie is said to have last spoken with his spouse on Wednesday evening. She said she became concerned when he did not come home as he usually did at 7:30.
So when Mr. 7:30 come and him not turn up, I start to call, and then I go file a missing person report at the station about 3:15, and then I get a call this morning.
His colleagues have expressed concern about individuals called loaders who seek unknown customers for them.
I want some more security, police thing right on the stand at night time. Got all different type of eyeglass. Locate at night time and watch it thing them. Watch it taxi man them and say, yo, this them a take that one there, them a take that one there. When if more security personnel stand up on the stand them at night time and check some suspect, some man look suspicious, much little thing would have better.
Thompson was found shot in his car along the Ebony Park Main Road this morning.
Caribbean Airlines has appointed William Rogers as acting general manager for Air Jamaica. Mr. Rogers replaces Howard Hall, who recently resigned. In a release today, Caribbean Airlines said its board had conducted audits of Air Jamaica and expected better results in customer care and profitability in that order. Chairman of Caribbean Airlines, George Nicholas III, was quoted as saying the airline needs to provide strong leadership to build trust with employees and the traveling public. The release also pointed to what it says is the turnaround of Air Jamaica, as there have been major improvements in its on-time performance. The airline is to receive a further boost when it begins operating 7 Boeing 737 aircraft by the end of the year. Mr. Nicholas says this will allow the airline to service many more routes.
No reports of protests over poor road conditions in St. Mary today. However, Member of Parliament for Central St. Mary, Dr. Maurice Guy, is hitting back at criticisms from his Western St. Mary counterpart.